Welcome to Our Girl Relationships. We talk about the problems people face in their day to day lives. Let's start with the video.
Hi, everyone. I, female 25, and my stepsister Olivia, female 24, have known each other practically all our lives. My mom gave birth to Olivia just after about a year after giving birth to me, and well, ever since that moment onwards, I've pretty much had a rocky relationship with Olivia. Surprisingly, though, I wouldn't blame Olivia for it at all because I know that all of the flaws in our relationship really stem from my mom and her horrible resentment towards me. My mom really thought to herself that she could drop me like I was some friend of hers once she filed for a divorce from my dad and just give up on me. My mom desperately wanted to let go of the so called mistake she made when she gave birth to me in her marriage with my dad and start completely fresh. But well, as we all know, this is life, not some video game that you can just start afresh without having to look back to your past mistakes. In real life, you sometimes have to carry the weight of your past mistakes, and well, if you have children that you don't want for any reason, you unfortunately have to carry those around too. My mom couldn't stand that fact. Even with all the child support my dad gave her to give me a good life, she just didn't find any of that satisfying. So, as a result, she did everything she had in her power to ruin my life. Without losing the child support, of course. She started poisoning Olivia against me, and she started with small doses. These small doses increased as we grew older, and it all resulted in Olivia becoming an extremely bitter, toxic, and selfish person. Sadly, her jealousy and toxicity wasn't limited to me. I don't know why, but for some reason it went way beyond just me. Olivia, sadly, became a horrible person to everyone around her, and including her so called LOML. Some background on Olivia's husband. Olivia met Adam in college. I've known Adam even before Olivia met him because we were a part of the same friend group. Adam was a great guy, and even though I wasn't a huge fan of him and Olivia dating, I stayed quiet and let them be. The two surprisingly hit it off amazingly well. Adam was able to really change Olivia in ways I never thought he would be able to be, and Olivia just became normal for some time. All because it didn't take her too long to show her true colors, her inner bitter self. And unfortunately, by the time she revealed herself, it all happened once they got married. Olivia's mask slowly started slipping off, and I think she didn't even notice it, but for Adam, I and almost everyone around us, it was pretty obvious. It all started to fall apart, except for our parents, of course, because in their eyes, she could do nothing wrong. Well, it started from small arguments and snide remarks. Then it went to Olivia turning into the old lazy self. And well, it all took a head when her flirty texts with her old boss were caught and how she was planning to leave her job without telling Adam. This all began eating Adam up on the inside. He really wanted to talk to someone, and so he decided to email me about it. By the time Olivia found out about it all, we had conversations worth about 2 months. It was just a back and forth between us where Adam was venting about Olivia, absolutely unsure of what to do. I kept trying to give Adam advice, but well, none of it was working. No amount of communication, suggestion of marriage counseling, nothing seemed to be working between the two. And I guess it is at this part where Olivia, too, started getting annoyed and irritated, probably due to Adam's constant nagging. Well, so what? Misery loves company, and a miserable person like Olivia definitely does. So I guess in an absolute pathetic attempt to ruin my life and my relationship with my own husband, Olivia tried to get into my laptop and mess with my emails. It was during the time she was over this Christmas season, and well, once she was greeted unpleasantly by the emails between Adam and I, she absolutely and completely lost it. She created a scene in front of my in laws, in our parents and Adam's parents. This year's Christmas was huge, and boy, it didn't take long for it all to get crazy. Everyone began arguing amongst themselves, and things that weren't even related to this issue came up. Olivia was fuming, and it didn't take long for her deep rooted insecurities to jump out and for her to start accusing me of having an affair with Adam. Thankfully, that was immediately shut down because, of course, both my husband and Adam had communication going on between them, so absolutely no one has a chance to think otherwise. But well, that was not so convincing for Olivia and my parents. They left the house shortly after creating a scene. Olivia has moved in with them, but not letting the distance stop her from taking constant jabs at me through social media. Her comments go from talking smack about me to apologizing to me because she's ruined her relationship with everyone. She keeps begging me to not let her relationship with Adam go, yet she turns around and blames me for her terrible relationship with Adam. Adam's mental health has plummeted, and he's been living with us. Everyone is split about this situation. My in laws say I'm not in the wrong for trying to help, but my dad says I might be a slight a-hole. I honestly can't help but laugh at this situation, especially regarding what happened between Olivia and I. I mean, it's pretty obvious to her and I both that Adam is going to divorce her sooner or later. So the constant switch between rage and remorse is just odd to me. What do you guys think? Am I the a-hole in any way? A lot of you guys were asking for an update, so here it goes. Adam has calmed down quite a bit since this all has gone down. He's talking to me and my hubby numerous times ever since this situation took place, and well, I was right. Adam has definitely started considering divorce. His views especially strengthened when Olivia reacted the way she did at the family Christmas. Adam is pretty shaken up by the situation, but honestly, from how he was during the time it all went down, I think he's doing good for himself. And well, I'm sure it'll just get better for him as time passes by. Adam also informed me that he'd like to meet and hear out Olivia one last time before making a firm and final decision. Honestly, I did thoroughly recommend him against it, but he was pretty set on it, so I guess there's going to be a few more updates coming for you guys regarding that. Adam finally met up with Olivia, and well, it wasn't a pretty view for him. From what Adam explained to me, Olivia looked miserable. She started off the conversation by apologizing to him and even going as far as to say she'd apologize to me. She almost managed to convince Adam to take her back, but thankfully, she wasn't able to keep her act for too long this time. As soon as they started talking about getting back together, Olivia became extremely passive aggressive, bringing up everything that I did and calling Adam a betrayer. Adam pretty much lost it there and then. He made it clear to her that if she couldn't shut her mouth even after he pretty much begged her to, she's not worth being in his life. I guess that finally sparked a light bulb on Olivia's mind, and she realized that Adam was really not messing around. She tried to turn things around. Once again, and well, thankfully, by God's grace, Adam really finally realized how pathetic she was being and decided to just leave her there. Obviously, Olivia isn't herself unless she creates a scene, and she tried to do so at the place where they met. Adam was accompanied by some of his friends there, and they had also informed the restaurant owners about Olivia's tendencies. And well, all the pre planning really helped because the security ended up escorting Olivia outside the restaurant. Ever since then, surprisingly, Adam has been doing well. I guess he too realized how big of a bombshell he avoided by leaving Olivia. I'm honestly proud of him, even though I know this is merely the first step, but I know this is the most important one. A lot of you guys were asking for a final update to conclude this roller coaster of a situation, and well, thankfully, I can happily say that we've gotten rid of Olivia. Well, almost. Adam has officially moved out of their shared house, filed for a divorce, and bought himself a place to stay. It's all amazing because although it's only been about 6 months since this mess of a situation went down, Adam looks fresher than ever, as if the old Adam from college is back and we're all embracing this change. Olivia has changed as well, but needless to say, no one except for my parents are embracing this change because they're just so happy that their daughter has lost her job for having an affair with the boss and is moving in with them just like the good old days. Needless to say, the end of Adam's relationship with Olivia also means that this is the end of my relationship with her and my mom. It makes me a bit sad, regardless of how they are, but looking at Adam, I feel much relief to not have her in my life, and so does everyone else, including Adam, of course, who has gone as far as to read this post, and all of you guys' amazing replies, and is eternally grateful for the support you all have left him since the past couple of months. NTA, Olivia really pulled one and found out about herself. I mean, what did she think would happen if she even succeeded at ruining her marriage? LOL. Don't make yourself feel guilty over a shitty person like Olivia. NTA, I feel so bad for Adam. Oh my God. He seems like such a nice guy. I really hope he can do better after Olivia. And as for her, I really hope she has fun rotting with her parents in their basement. LOL. NTA, Olivia seems so bipolar. I was genuinely confused all throughout the post as to what this woman really wanted because WTF? Regardless, though, I'm glad Adam has finally gotten rid of a burden like her. I'm on mobile. Sorry for any formatting issues. Also using a throwaway account because my fiance knows my main. A bit of background. My fiance, 35 male, and I, 26 female, have been dating for 6 years and living together for 4. We both work in healthcare and have hectic schedules. I've been minimally employed for about 2 months and started cooking in my spare time. I've been offering to make my fiancé food to make breakfast and dinner easier on him. He always tells me yes if I ask if he wants me to make extras for leftovers, but as soon as they get put in the fridge, he won't eat them and instead comes home and grabs a TV dinner to put in the microwave. This means I'm often stuck eating the same meal for a week at a time, otherwise it sits in the fridge and goes bad. This gives me severe anxiety because I grew up food insecure, and watching food go bad fills me with dread. When I brought it up, he basically told me he would forget the leftovers were in there and kept grabbing TV dinners. I got a whiteboard to put on the fridge and started writing what leftovers were in there, and he got insulted and said the idea was infantilizing. So I didn't use it. He kept grabbing TV dinners, and it was hurtful, insulting that he would overlook the leftovers for them. Lately, I've been struggling with some mental health issues, anxiety, and cried about how hard it is to keep on top of the kitchen and that I felt like I was getting stuck in there, being the only one who cleans it while my boyfriend gets the IMO, much easier, chore of washing clothes. He offered to switch chores for a while so I could take a break, and I agreed. That was about 6 to 8 weeks ago, and in that time, he's washed about half the dishes once. I've been washing dishes as I've needed them and putting a few through our mini dishwasher when able. Yesterday, I broke down again because I just wanted to cook so I'd have something to eat. But there were dishes on every surface of the kitchen, covering counters, stove, table, chairs, and sinks, and it took 2 hours of washing to catch back up, not including wiping counters and floors, etc. And by the time I was done, I didn't have the energy to dive into cooking. When I talked to him about it, he told me he was too busy with work to clean the kitchen and that he would have gotten it later in the week, at least 3+ days, and that I was overreacting to not having a space to cook and it can wait or I can do it myself. It feels like the kitchen got dumped on me, and now I'm doing the laundry, and I genuinely believe it's because he's perfectly content grabbing a TV dinner. Doesn't need anything to cook, just a fork to eat with. And getting out of the kitchen. It's a small thing to him, but his habit of grabbing a TV dinner is making me feel unappreciated and that it's enabling him to ignore the chore he offered to take. WIBTA if I stop buying TV dinners for a while so he'd address these issues? NTA, it's sad that you don't realize that he isn't going to change. The real issue here is whether or not you are going to find the courage to leave him. You already know what life with him is going to be like. Either accept being his slave or move on. I can't get over you dating a 29-year-old at the age of 20. Also, yes, stop buying TV dinners. He does need to take care of the home with you rather than letting it just default to you. It's not normal to just leave piles of dishes and not expect your partner to have a breakdown. Please take care of yourself. I'm really tired and I will come to this and try to elaborate, but this isn't a healthy situation for you. NTA, the TV dinners are the least of your worries. He's not respecting your role in the house and not helping out nearly enough. If it were me, I'd make my own food only and wash my own clothes. Let him buy his TV dinners if that's what he wants. You can make yourself food that you love and in the right amounts. I, 20, female, have worked at my current job on a building site for 9 months. One of the men working on site makes me quite uncomfortable. He has made 1 or 2 inappropriate comments. This isn't my issue, as this is a construction site. It's really meant as a joke. However, he is a very touchy-feely person. I am not in the slightest. I won't even hug my family members unless it is little children because I don't want them to feel hurt or rejected because it can upset them very easily. Over the past 9 months, this man has touched me in some way every time he sees me. I thought I made it clear I was uncomfortable because I tense up and he notices, or I freeze in place and just look at him because I'm not sure what to say. Don't get me wrong, it's not inappropriate touching. It's usually a pat on the back, a nudge with his elbow, or one of those half hug shake things. However, it still makes me pretty uncomfortable. I decided today to speak to him about it when we were alone. He patted me on the back again, and I flinched because I didn't expect it. He asked me if something was wrong or if I had a sore back. I didn't want to be mean, but I had just had enough. I was already having a bad day, and my patience for these things was wearing thin. So I said to him, No, sorry. I just don't like people touching me unexpectedly or uninvited. It's pretty uncomfortable to me. He wasn't happy. He went around telling people that I had hurt his feelings, made him uncomfortable, made him feel like he was a bad guy, and that he was doing something wrong. I didn't mean to hurt his feelings or make him uncomfortable at all, and I'm really sorry he feels that way. I really do feel awful. But at the same time, all I was doing was setting a boundary for myself. If anyone else behaved the same, I would politely tell them the same thing. I don't see anything wrong with this myself, although I'm sorry for his upset. But the other guys on site are now saying I'm a bitch, uptight, etc. So, AMITA? NTA. I think you know you aren't TA, but need support because you're in a shitty work environment. I recommend talking to HR or whatever equivalent you have around if coworkers bother you about this. I also suggest for the future that you verbally make it clear on the first time someone touches you that you're not okay with it. He might pretend not to notice you flinching and visible discomfort, and who knows, some people legitimately might not read that from you. But if you are verbal the first time, he doesn't have that excuse. NTA. You didn't embarrass him by saying anything in front of other people, nor have you complained about him to management, HR. You simply told him that his touching behavior made you feel uncomfortable, and you made sure to do this when you were alone. That's the best way you could have done this. Instead of taking this on board and apologizing and getting on with work, he was gone off and told a bunch of people. The irony is that he has told them that you made him feel uncomfortable on this one occasion by telling him that he doesn't seem to have understood that he has made you feel uncomfortable numerous times, to the extent that his mere presence makes you uncomfortable. This bloke is a complete AH and a hypocrite. NTA. Nobody gets to touch you without your consent. That's the beginning and end of it. This guy is hurt. And that's understandable. Some people are more touchy-feely than others and express familiarity in different ways. However, this guy decided to make it an attack on you. You had a private conversation where you took his feelings into consideration and tried to be sensitive to them. He made it into a public issue about you being uptight or whatever because he was embarrassed and is trying to turn it around on you. This isn't about him touching you anymore. Now it's about this guy going around spreading gossip about you and throwing a little tantrum about it. He is the one being weird here.